Welcome to the new series from 603 Rides, known as Stories from the Stumble In. Now, the Stumble In Saloon is a little bar and grill type place located in what's known as the Lazy Bear Lodge. Well, to be serious, it's my house. So anyway, since Mother Nature has decided to set in with winter, and we're due for another somewhere between 10 and 200 inches of snow tonight and tomorrow, depending on who you listen to. I had to come up with something different. So anyways, I'll be relaying silly stories. The first one we're going to talk about, spontaneous combustion. Not something I really believe in. I feel that if something magically goes up in flames, there's usually an accelerant involved somewhere, if it's an ant, it's probably some kid with a magnifying glass. And if it's some guy sitting in his chair, probably some form of pepper sauce was involved. And I say this with an all earnest because I don't know if you guys have tracked, but a few years ago, jalapenos were considered extremely hot and people approached them with care. And then we get the Scotch bonnets and your habaneros, which were, 10 or 100 times hotter. And they get Scoville scales and all that scientific bullcrap, but hot's hot. And then people figuring, well, that's not hot enough. I don't know if they started breeding these or they really found them, but now you got ghost peppers and reapers and good Lord Almighty, anything named Reaper, you gotta approach with some caution. But anyways, where I'm going with this is for Christmas last couple years, my young cousin and her boyfriend, they know I like spicy food. Now, I do. But I always have the caveat that, yeah, you can bring the heat, but it has to bring the flavor. Now, you have some of the more popular hot sauces out there that, you can probably recognize by the bottles and so forth. And these, they're called hot sauces, but in all honesty, they're flavor enhancers. They aren't all that hot. When you add them to your recipe, most of them you can, your measuring devices are substantial. But when you start getting up into the reapers and the ghost peppers and the so forth and so on, your measuring devices become much more conservative. We start talking dashes. Now, we aren't talking about grab that bottle and just put a couple dashes on it. No, we're talking put a couple dashes on it. So anyways, a few days after Christmas, I was sitting here thinking to myself, God, you got to try that hot sauce. So I grabbed my toothpick and dipped it in the end and put it on the end of my tongue. And I swear to God, it's the one time in life where I'm glad that I'm follically challenged, because what's left of my hair on the top of my head started to smoke. If I had a full head of hair, I'd have been in some serious trouble. One of the things you gotta make sure of when you start handling hot peppers and hot pepper sauces is to make sure you have the proper PPE, personal protective equipment, because you don't want to be getting any of this on your hands and touching your eyes or other parts of your body, because it'll give you a burning sensation like you do not want to experience. Touching your eyes, you basically just pepper sprayed yourself. Good luck with that. But I'm thinking there's going to be a couple applications for hot sauce that are actually beneficial to you. Not just enhancing flavors of food and making you sweat and look silly. But how about mixing it just in the right amount so that you don't have to get all dressed up like this to go walk across the street to get your mail in the wintertime. shots in your salsa, couple chips, and you could probably walk down the end of the street and back before you got cold. If you make it even a little bit hotter, when we get that 2 feet of snow overnight, maybe you just go out and stand in the middle of the driveway and melt it all rather than having to worry about shoveling it or snow blowing it or getting rid of it that way. But just crazy ideas. Suppose we ought to try to get this train back on the right track. So anyways, it's readily apparent that I need a lot more practice in planing to properly put together these stories from the Stumbling. Bear with me. Hopefully they'll get a little bit better over the next few weeks, and if they don't, well, spring's coming, and hopefully I can get back out and start showing you some of the scenery. Oh, Lord. We'll make it through one way. Ride safe. Till next time.